All right, welcome everybody. My name's Ony. I'm here at Artful Milestones interviewing my guy, Ellis Ble. This dude is a super talented artist. I don't really actually get to record him because he records himself in the studio. So I just kind of see him come in late at night when I'm leaving the studio. He's kind of like the night owl. But yeah, we're here to interview him today. He just released a project called Hustle. I actually got 2 tracks on there that I got to produce. We're gonna get more into that later. But yeah, welcome. Happy to have you. How you feeling today? What's going on?
I feel good. I feel good. And those are right. That's Hustler.
Oh, Hustler.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Cool. So is this your first project that you put out?
It's not my first project I put out. I would say it's probably the first project where I felt like I've started coming into myself as an artist and actually finding my voice as an artist. I felt like confident in this project.
Okay. So which number is this one then?
I would say this project number, let's say 3.
Okay.
3,
And like, how many tracks is on them on average? Like they're around 10 tracks each.
I usually try to do around 10 or 11. I feel like if I make them too short, it's like, okay, I heard that, on to the next. And if it's too long, even me, sometimes my favorite artists, I'm not trying to hear 50 songs. Like, you know what I mean? So I find like 10 or 11 is the right number, the magic number for me.
Okay,
right
cool.
now,
So why do you feel like on this one is the coming of age as an artist, like you feel more confident than the other ones? Like, what's the difference?
You know what? Honestly, I've been putting in work. Besides working with you,
Facts.
I've been putting in work every night. I'm like, all right, you know what? The 1,000 hours, let me come in, let me record, let me get it. The other ones, it was more like, okay, I was making the songs for the project, then I chill out. This one is like, I was recording every night, and all these songs on the project are actually my favorite out of a lot of songs, I couldn't even give you a number on how many songs I had,
We actually jumping the gun. Hold on one second. So I need you, look in this camera over here, all right, brother? All right. Who is Ellis and what does Ellis do?
So overall Ellis, I would say it's a brand that stands for basically never stopping, always going for what you want, no matter what comes in the way. Just focusing on the goal and getting it, whether that's career-wise, whether that's a girl you try to get at wise, whether any goal you have, just focusing on locking on it and getting it, no matter what comes in the way, So overall, as a brand, I represent hustling, but also doing it in a classy way, kind of like the mafia,
So it's a brand.
It's a brand.
So it's like Ellis by Calvin Klein. Like one of those type of joints. Like you trying to get cologne, headphones. You're trying to get bigger than just you.
Yeah, because it's a lifestyle. How I look at it, I feel like music is, for me, always growing up, music was, it's not just like something I go do. It's like, all right, if I'm on the train, if I'm working out, no matter what I'm doing, there's a soundtrack, So overall, Ellis is a lifestyle versus just the songs,
Right.
So it's like,
sounds like motivation.
Yeah, a lifestyle. So if you lame, you're not
That's
part
what's
of the
up.
lifestyle.
Well, again, man, let's clap it up for this man. Congratulations on the 3rd project, Hustler. I want to know, what does this project mean to you and how did it come together?
The name Hustler, really, it was like I was really hustling, especially being at the studio every night, just recording, finding a way, doing that while still trying to maintain life, you know what I mean? So really, I feel like with this one, I was in that mentality, that hustle mentality, Also, my parents are from Ghana, West Africa, so that helps a lot. So I kind of channeled that energy, because I'm like, okay, cool. It's like, if you're born overseas, doesn't necessarily have to be overseas, but it's like, you a hustler, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean like selling dope. It's like hustling. I got to find a way to get it.
Yo, fun fact, both of us are immigrants, all right? We got that immigrant heritage in our blood. I actually came here when I was 1 year old. I'm half German, half Black myself. So I understand what you mean, bro. Like you come over here, you don't got anything, and you got to make something out of nothing, right? But you said, like, with your heritage, it's like you said your parents, you said that helps, meaning like they always giving you bombastic side eye. Like, what are you doing? Like the
Yeah.
expectations and the pressure. You feel that from the? Is it in a loving way or is it just in a like that's the weight of the world on your shoulders type of energy?
It was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both, you know? I feel like my pops, how he was with the whole thing, he's like, yo, if you're going to do this, you better do it. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, this is not a hobby. Like, if you're going to do it, do it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I definitely always took that approach with it. It's like, other people like, oh yeah, when I feel like coming around recording, it's like, nah, I gotta record, like, you know,
Damn.
record like it's a job, you know?
You don't want to go back to the crib with your tail between your legs. You want to come back in like, bam. Okay.
You know, yeah.
That's what's up. So let's get into the production process for Hustler. Let's talk about, and I want you to break this down in a way where it's like, for somebody who doesn't really understand music, what is Ellis's process for creating songs? Like, what's your method? Everybody has a different method. Some people are in bedroom producers, bedroom engineers, bedroom song artists. You're a different animal, bro. So I really think you need to break it down and really, because I feel like that will shock people. You know what I mean? Like, it's been almost, like I said, it's been almost a year. You're the only one here midnight to like 6 a.m. in the morning. So break that down. What's the production process like for you?
So first of all, how I always am, I'm like, personally, I feel like of course you can make music in your bedroom and everything like that. And I've had time periods where I would, but for me, it's like I have to go somewhere where it means work. So as soon as like I get to the studio, no matter how tired I am, I'm like, all right, it's work time. You know what I mean? So basically with that, it's like get in there. So once I get to the studio, it's like, all right, cool. Now it's always kind of like a weird balance because it's like you can't put too much pressure on yourself. Like I got to come up with the greatest song, you know? So I'll kind of like, okay, get to the studio, kind of relax, chill, probably have a little bit to drink, you know what I'm saying? Chill.
Oh my God, this guy, I come the next morning, there's bottles. I'm like, yo, yeah, you said the vibe is important, bro.
It's the main thing, you know what I mean?
Let's get into, quick break in between that production process. What's been the main drink that you've been holding down during the creation of Hustler?
Listen, whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy, right?
Okay, what kind?
It's this stuff called McGregor. I'm not gonna lie. So
that's the green bottle.
That's that green bottle.
It's crazy. Definitely McGregor. Okay, we need a sponsorship because every morning is a new bottle. Every couple of weeks or whatever, he's a fan.
Listen, I'm open to it, y'all. Y'all hit me up because I've been rubbing y'all hard out here. You know.
Okay, cool. So you got to go to the studio. It keeps it more intentional, more serious.
Yeah.
You set the vibe. You got your drink right.
Yeah.
You come into the lab. So what's step one? Do you find a beat first? Do you have voice memos? Like,
so me personally, I always love to just go off the emotion. I actually learned that from you, you know, which is crazy.
Shout out to me.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So I'll play the beat, maybe have my little drink in my hand, maybe have a shorter with me or whatever. We'll just play the beat. Just keep it. Sometimes what I like to do is I'll play other songs to kind of unwind me from the day. But then, all right, whatever I'm working on, usually I'll have like beats producer sent me or whatever. And I'll just play that, like whichever one I like. I'll probably play a couple of them, pick one I like, and then just kind of let that run for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. Then I feel the emotion of it, you know what I mean? And then however I'm feeling, I'll just start recording. So I don't always start off with the idea of the song in my head. I'll just go in kind of like freestyle a little something, maybe hum melodies. When I say freestyle, it's just all melodies. You know, it's crazy how some people just come up with words. Me, it's just all melodies, maybe flows and stuff.
Yo, he's not lying. He doesn't write. It's all freestyling, and he records bar by bar, like on some Lil Wayne, Jay-Z kind of vibe. Because sometimes all the words come to you for the most part. Other times it's more like you get kind of melodic.
Yeah.
You didn't break that down either. So are you a rapper? Are you a singer? Like, what kind of style of music do you do?
You know what? I kind of let the listener decide, you know, because I've had some people like, yo, you're a singer. And some people like, no, you're a rapper. Me personally, I just say I'm an artist because I go with the emotion of the song. So certain emotions, if I'm tight about something, it's probably gonna come out as a rap. Probably gonna chant it. If you know what I'm saying, I'm in my feelings about something, it's probably gonna come out in melody, you know. But my biggest thing always is just going with the emotion of the song, you know. So I try to stay. I look at it as okay. I'm just like a vessel, you know. So I'm not
Wow.
Before, when I first started, I'd be like, oh, I have to rap this. They want me to rap on this, I have to rap on this. Or I have to sing on this. But I've noticed a lot, it helps just kind of get out of the way and just let
Wow.
the song come to you.
That's a gem. You're channeling.
Yeah.
So, damn, that's a really interesting process. So you kind of DJ yourself. You got whiskey. You said sometimes you got a shorty with you. You really create an environment to be a channeler, and then you just let it flow.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest
You're
thing.
not grinding, right? Because you got hustle and grind. A lot of people talk about that, like grind and shine, like good morning, and you're like, I'm a ebb and I'm a flow, ebb and flow. That's the way nature moves. That's pretty ill. That's a gem.
Yeah.
All right, so you start recording some freestyles, and then since you don't write anything down and you're recording yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm recording myself.
So what's your editing process? So you got a first draft, you captured you channeled and you captured some dope vibes.
Yeah.
What's your editing process after that?
With that, I'll probably let it sit down. I'll let it sit for a few minutes, sometimes even a couple of days. And I'll go listen to other stuff, just kind of like reset my ears. Because sometimes it's like when I'm recording, I'm like, yo, this is about to be the next crazy hit. And I go back in a couple of days, I'm like, nah, that ain't it. Or sometimes like the reverse. I'll be like, yo, this like kind of whatever. And I play it back the next day or probably 30 minutes later. I'm like, yo, that shit was crazy. You know?
Whiskey was hitting.
Yeah, you feel me? So I just try to like stay out of the way as much as I can. So I just go back and listen. I just use my ears and my emotions. So the number one thing is I try not to overthink it. I'll be like, okay, that part was dope. That part was dope. Keep that. Sometimes it's not enough for a song. You know, I might record 15 minutes and find maybe one line out of that whole. So if it's like that, then I just go back again and do the same thing. But most of the time, I'll have like what I need for a song. Maybe a good, strong 3 or 4 parts that I can use, and then I'll kind of go back and kind of piece that out. No, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like my main thing is just going by what sounds good. So if I kind of feel something from a part, it could be like a half a second. And I'm like, yo, I felt something and I'll kind of like cut that out and save it, you know?
So it's a momentum. So wow, this is like a masterclass right here. This is great advice, because a lot of people sometimes they got so much anxiety around this process, and they're just stressed out half the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they're making music, they spend most of their time thinking and worrying versus you're just documenting the process. So it's like every day you're coming in, you're just gonna document whatever you channel that day, and then you can always look back at it later and say, "Oh, that was a great idea. Let me feed off that momentum. I'm gonna ride that wave I started." And how do you know when your song is finished?
Me personally, I feel like, again, from coming from that, just to add on to that, I would say that's what helped me a lot from being in the studio every night. Because I noticed before when I was just like going in, okay, I gotta make the song hot, I gotta do this, I was thinking too much. But every night it's like, okay, if it's part of the routine, I'm just like, it's kind of like freestyling with your friends in the back of the car when you smoke it. Like, you know, it's kind of part of the routine, you know? Me, I just happen to pick certain parts and I'm like, okay, cool. So how I know the song is done basically is I'll piece together everything. So my number one thing is it has to sound good. And I learned that from you. Basically, it has to sound good without any words on it before. So if it sounds good, I can have mumbling or whatever. I'm like, okay, it's gonna sound fire when I put words on it, you know?
What story? Now I could put a story to it and make it clear, like, oh wow, this emotion reminds me of that time I went through this. I'm gonna tell this story.
Yeah. Because before it's like I tell my deepest pain, and you put it on something that doesn't sound good. People are like, next, and that's the worst heartbreak, you know. So yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Bro. It's crazy to hear you. Like, I'm glad we did this because I feel like I'm even learning, and I really like what you said about the lifestyle. It's like now that because you made it a routine and it's a habit in your everyday, the results you're gonna get are different from just like, I'm gonna do 10 hours on Saturday, see you next Saturday, or see you in 2 weeks, and then I only got these 10 hours again. And it's like, it's a whole different energy versus just like, this is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's like no sweat. Like I'm checking in every day. Pharrell actually has a quote like that. Like you got to check in. The universe is a library.
Yeah.
You got to check in every day.
Yeah.
You never know what
true.
idea. Facts. So
it's
wow,
true.
you're killing it, man. What's my next question? Okay. So this is actually going exactly how I planned it. So I was wondering. I know you've like asked me for feedback. So you go through that whole process. I was wondering, besides me, do you go to other people for feedback? Cause like, okay, now you know, like I pretty much think I got a dope record.
Yeah.
Do you start playing it to people? Like, do you start playing it to your family or friends? Or like, what's your feedback process like?
For sure. So the number one is I've noticed this for myself too, because I'll do like songs, I'll do like a lot of songs. So if I repeat it a couple times, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I got something. And I'll either play it for you, I'll send it out to some of my boys. Sometimes I'll have girls come to the studio, listen to it. And I kind of use that as the biggest feedback because it's like, okay. And I know a lot of people say, I mean, I'm kind of like 50-50 about it. And I know a lot of people say, just do it for yourself, do it for this. But it's like, and then Dave, nobody likes a song, you're not going to eat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I kind of find a balance with that. Like, if I like it and you like it, and so-and-so likes it, I'm like, okay, cool, pick that song. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a lot of people's like it either and, or like, it's like either you love it and people hate it, or people, I feel like it's all like, if I love it, you love it, these shorties came to the studio, love it, it's probably a hit. You know what I mean?
It's a confirmation thing for you. Okay.
And again, it's like I record so much, it's like, I don't take it personal if somebody doesn't like a certain song, because I'm like, okay, cool, right. I can scrap that. Or I can build on that
idea. It could
idea.
just be their mood. They might hear it again in 2 days and be like, whoa. Did you play this to me before? This is fire.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you said the other day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And it's also trusted ears too. Because a lot of times, like the stuff I feel strongly about, you'll be like, okay, this is dope. And I'm like, all right, cool. It gives me that feedback. So I will say I'm probably like the last resort. I'm like, okay, if I love it, if somebody doesn't like it, depending on who it is, I'll be like, keep it. It's certain songs I'm like, whatever about. But it's like some songs I'm like, yo, I know, like when we did Money Moves, I was like, yo, I was playing that back to back all the way home. So I was like, I know this is one.
Another thing you was telling me before was like, because you kind of discovered on this project, you were like, DJs are important. You started kind of learning this other part of the way people engage with music. Can you shed a little bit of light on that epiphany you had? That was some of your feedback too, right? You kind of tested it. You let some DJs play your music. Like, how did that go?
Yeah, and I have so much respect for you DJs out there. I have so much respect for you. Just because that, again, is a science in itself. So it's one thing creating the music, but it's one thing like reading the room and being like, okay, this is what feels about, this is what's going to fit the vibe, or this is what's going to get people moving, you know? And it could be a great song. It just may not be the right crowd. And DJs are so important because they can read that. It's their job to read that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Before it's like, again, it's like, I could feel like this, or I could want to put this out, but if it's not played in front of the right crowd, then it's going to get scrapped, you know?
Facts. You can't play Michael Jackson and then play Future.
Yeah.
But maybe in the right strip club at the right time. Who knows?
Like, yeah, you know?
So it's all, like you said, it's kind of just like channeling, reading the room when you're with yourself, reading the room when you're with your friends, and then reading the room when you're like with a crowd. You know what I'm saying? Or a music video is another version of that. That's another part of the game. Have you done any music videos yet in general?
I've done a couple music videos. I've done a few music videos. Definitely want to shoot more, you know.
Right, because hold on, you didn't mention you're also a model, right?
I mean, I don't like to call myself a model. I have modeled, but I don't like to call myself a model because I feel like I had an ex that modeled, and like studying the poses and doing certain faces and doing that, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing all that. But if you put me in front of like a good photographer, he's like this, that, I mean, I'm gonna figure it out.
Listen, man, you know? Like I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like Billie Eilish had the modeling contract before she blew up. You know what I'm saying? So use the music video as an opportunity. Use the album cover as an opportunity to have a crazy portrait headshot to be like, hey, this is not just me trying to get in the modeling agency or a modeling gig. This is the headshot for my project that I'm putting out.
Yeah.
So now all the songs have your face on it. So when they find out the song, they also say, wow, this person looks, what's going on? This is a package.
Yeah.
So you're a multifaceted artist, bro. You got a lot going on.
I feel like it's all part of art too, because I'm not gonna lie, I am like passionate about like streetwear and fashion and stuff, and that's also part of the brand. I feel like that's just as important as the music, because I feel like the way you dress whether it's like gym clothes or whether it's streetwear, it's kind of also an expression of yourself, you know? So that's the part of modeling that I will say that I do love, is just like putting together crazy outfits. And I can definitely see why, like I mean, I don't know if you've been in a room, but it's like one feeling to be overdressed somewhere and then one feeling to be underdressed. And I'd rather be overdressed just because it's like, you're going to be feeling yourself. You're going to be like, yeah, what's up? Versus underdressed,
Facts.
you're going to be, you know, so.
You're going to walk a little different.
Yeah, you know, so I do feel like fashion is a big part of music, you know? It goes hand in hand, you know?
Facts. Yeah. I feel inspired, bro. I really like your process. After the fact, now that the project has been released, what has that feedback been like for you?
It's definitely been a lot of great feedback. I have some friends that DJ at some clubs. I got to play that Marquee. A buddy of mine DJs, like basically with the Tile Group connection. So I have some DJs that work with that. So it's crazy just seeing it in the club. It's like, yo, I made this song by myself in the studio, and then seeing it played out like in the club and seeing people's feedback. As far as friends and family, of course, people give me their feedback. And I feel like anybody that really knows me, anybody that's been with me, they know it's like a lifestyle. So that's my big thing, that it's like, I try not to be something I'm not. So anybody that's been around me, anybody that's in my circle, you know what I'm saying, my boys, anybody, it's just like, they know we out here hustling. It's like, I made the album for all them, you know what I mean?
The dots
legally
connect.
or illegally, you know what I mean? We get to that paper somehow, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on the project?
Definitely Money Moves.
Money Moves.
Just because...
Produced by yours truly.
Just because, and I don't even know, I mean, you know, almost just Money Moves, just because, again, I'm not going to condone anything, but we really out here hustling. So when I wrote that song, I was, you know what I'm saying, in the middle process, hustling, getting money in the whole thing. And I'm just like, listen to the beat. And I'm like, yo, this fits this moment. Just like when the kick comes in, I'm like, yo, like, bro, I said,
your vocals on that song is like avant-garde. Like when you hear the chorus, we got to do some more TikToks with that joint, because I feel like that joint is going to catch on, because I don't even know how you got your voice to go up that high. You got some Earth, Wind, and Fire vocals in there. It's crazy, bro.
But you know what? I feel like
that's why nobody could figure out if you rapping or like what's going on, because it's just like, again, you just channeling and you just letting it come out.
And so, you said the right word. That's the thing, channeling. I feel like, especially in that, I was just like so much in the zone to where that night in the studio, I don't think I even thought about it too much. The beat just came on and I had to listen to it all day. So I was like, okay, let me record and play something. And it's just like, I didn't even think anything of it. And I listened back, I'm like, yo.
Bro, you know? When I heard that, when you sent the demo back, I was like, I would have never imagined that was gonna happen with the beat. Like, I was all naive, like, okay, he mostly raps, so let me give him some more of my like harder hip-hop beats, and you just made it pop. It's just, this isn't even, I mean, it's technically hip-hop, but like, that joint really hitting.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song on the project.
So I always say a song is like your baby. What about you? What do you feel like these songs mean to you, and why should people tap in and be anticipating the next joint, you know?
Definitely, because I'm trying to give like a soundtrack to not just my life, but anybody who's out here hustling life. I feel like I'm basically being your voice, you know? It's like I try to make songs that I would want to hear if I was going through certain things in life, you know? So if I'm like, okay, cool, I gotta work every day, I'm trying to get to this money, I gotta provide a way, you know, I got a son, I'm like, okay, I gotta find a way to get it. I'd want to hear these songs, you know? Basically, I'm trying to make the soundtrack to anybody that's really out here hustling, you know, towards any goal, you know? It doesn't have to just be money. If you're in the gym hustling, if you trying to get this big contract hustling, basically anybody that has a big goal that they're willing to put work towards, that's who I'm recording for, you know? Because we in the same boat. We out here getting it, you know?
Facts. Yeah. You like working out, you on the bike, you just walking down the street in New York, you at work, like whatever you need, anything that you need a little help with the motivation, you got that overnight shift, he's gonna be up with you. He's in the studio cooking up while you doing that overnight shift. So yeah, I feel that, man. Like, I feel like as a lot of artists need to think about that. Like a song is a tool.
Yeah.
So it's just like, can people get dressed to this? Can people cook to this? You know, like, is this something to help people drive home? Whatever it is, like we being intentional about what's possible with your art is like, that's another way to play and have fun and test things. Like, you know, if you never did a calm, relaxed song to cool down when you're angry, that's a great way to expand your pen. You know what I mean? So I'm always like trying to get people to like write something you never wrote before, because it's like, it's easy to get nice at something and then that becomes your new, like, you know how a lot of rappers have that same rap voice on every beat or every song? It's just like, yeah, it helps you hear and recognize them, but also it sounds like they don't know how to do anything else with their voice, right? So that's probably one of my favorite things about like what you do. I still know it's you, but you're able to like take your voice into all new directions. So I can't wait to see the next project that's gonna come out, which you've been back at it like every day. So I know you whipping up in the kitchen again. So yeah, what's next? What's next for Ellis Ble? What's going on? Let the people know where they can find you. Yeah, let's end it out real quick. End us off with what's next. Let us know where we can find you and stay tapped in, because you be dropping a lot of covers too.
Yeah, so definitely follow me on Instagram. That's at the real ELLISBLE, the real Ellis Ble. That's basically where I tap in. Honestly, it's because that's where I feel the most comfortable. You know, I'm working on that TikTok too, so you can find me at Ellis Ble Music on TikTok. Basically, my thing is just locking in. I'm always recording. You know, I definitely want to do a lot of more stuff with like Afrobeat. You know, a lot of world stuff, because I am Ghanaian, Ghana Mue, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow, I need to get you tapped in with my Ghanaian friends. I know some dancers, another vocalist, actress. We gonna get the dots connected.
Yeah, Ghana and Nigeria too, like all like West Africa, like they're hustling, you know. Yeah, it's like I'm recording every night. They're recording every night. It's a global movement. Yeah, you know. So I definitely want to tap in with my Afrobeat fans or Ampiano fans. Just, you know, basically whatever sounds good to me. I don't want really like to put myself in a box. I'm there for it. My number one thing is
I'm a piano, man. I was playing I'm a piano before when we was getting set up, because it's like the new smooth jazz for me, like Sade and all of that. It's like the new age version of that. And I love the fact that that movement is being pushed with female DJs at the helm. They setting the trends with the dance moves and all of that. And I feel like that would be the nice, organic, natural progression for you. Yeah, you just need to just go to the events, bro.
Yeah, no, I definitely need to pull up
the all white parties. Yeah, y'all have the best parties, bro.
What? You gotta come fresh, you know. You gotta come fresh. No, definitely. It's spiritual at the end of the day, but it's like a whole energy, you know. Once those drums come on and the speakers in the clubs, it's like, yo, what's that, you know? Facts. Yeah.
Look, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna see you on the next interview. Tapping with my guy Ellis Ble. We got some fire joints coming out. We got some new music coming soon. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.